Hello and welcome to this episode of Jexo with Friends podcast. In this series, we get to meet great people from across the Atlassian ecosystem and have a casual chat about partnerships, teams, services, and more. In this episode, we talk to James from Ascend Integrated, the US-based Atlassian solution partner, now a subsidiary of Contegix. Hi, James. Great to finally have a chat with you publicly, to put it like that.
Thanks for having me, Vero. Pleasure as always.
Right, so let's get into this. The session is more of an introduction. So for us to get to know Ascend Integrated a bit better. So I want to start to talk a bit about yourself. So talk to me a bit about your background and how you got started at Ascend Integrated.
Sure. Well, I've been working at Ascend for about 3 years now, and I am a senior consultant there. I previously worked with the CEO on a project in another life before the opportunity for this came up. And then when he decided to expand the company, I joined on. So I've been working with Atlassian products for about 5 years now, and I've also worked with some other SDLC tools and help desk software as well, kind of intermittently. So I have some kind of experience across the board with different systems besides Atlassian, but I've really, kind of grown more and more with the Jira products over the years. And I started off in finance. Eventually I just like the technology aspects so much that I changed careers. So I enjoy the process side of things, especially like Agile. With Jira, it really helps facilitate that. And, it's been my goal to see these processes more and more integrated into companies, and obviously Jira and Confluence and Bitbucket and other tools can help with that.
Yeah, very true. That's interesting. And a question for you. Because you said you worked with other service management tools, what is your absolute favorite service management tool? And you're free to not say JSM.
Honestly, I do like Atlassian's Jira Service Desk, especially for smaller teams. But, I have to say that, Zendesk is respectable. I've also used ServiceNow, Freshdesk, a lot of the other ones out there. There's definitely no lack of Service Desk tools out there, but it really depends on how well you set it up. Just any of the newer cloud-based ones as compared to some of the older ones that are kind of being phased out over time.
Yeah, true. And I think I've used Freshdesk in the past as well. I could never afford, when I was building some other startups, and even in the company that I worked before, I could never afford Zendesk and all of these. They had, at least in the past, I don't know nowadays because I've not looked into it. I'm very happy with GSM. But they used to have these crazy per agent prices, which were a bit too big for my liking. I'm the startup-y poor kind of founder, and I actually used quite a bit before GSM Freshdesk because they have this model with free for up to X users and or free forever unless you use this and this type of features. And they actually went public, isn't it? Like I think last week, Freshworks. Wow, okay. Yeah, the Freshwork went public with 10 billion valuation.
Wow!
And it kind of like shows you the power, and it's a Indian-based company. They've banked a lot on the freemium model. It kind of shows you the power of that now becoming public at a 10 billion valuation, which is, I believe, 10%. Is it 10%? No, I think Atlassian went public at 100 billion or something like that. I think they're valued more than 100 billion today.
Wow.
But yeah, let's leave these giants aside and talk about Ascend. Ascend Integrated. What does Ascend Integrated do today? How do you help Atlassian customers?
Well, obviously, Ascend Integrated is an Atlassian partner, so we specialize in helping our clients adopt Atlassian tools. Some clients are coming from older help desks or older SDLC tools. Some clients are coming from nothing. Some might be coming from email and spreadsheets. So, we help clients, scale up, and in many cases, they're going from teams having to separate tools to all being on one tool, for example, Jira software. So we help clients with that. Some clients we help with like asset tracking and their processes and just integration with other tools. So there's just lots of things that we do across the board for them.
Right, and you work with a lot of government agencies. Is that, would you say that that's your target customer right now, or is it just it happened to be more focused on this direction?
While we do focus heavily on government clients, we also focus on a lot of commercial ones as well. So we have historically worked with a lot of nonprofits and hospitals and other types of healthcare entities. But over time, we've really got a kind of diverse set of clients now. But yes, government is one of the areas that we really excel at.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I did see also in the messaging, the acquisition kind of focused on that part of the collaboration. Well, and I know that you got acquired by Contegix recently, and I want to talk about that in a bit. But first, tell me a bit the story behind the company. How, because you mentioned that you worked in a previous life with the founder, but I'm curious how Ascend Integrated got to be, basically.
Well, it was a two-person shop for a long time, and then as Atlassian grew as a brand, Ascend started to grow as well. I started when there was about maybe 5 people total, and we eventually got up to about 25 people. The Atlassian ecosystem has expanded and expanded. There's been more and more add-ons out there, and Atlassian Jira software has become more and more the standard for a lot of companies and bigger companies. So as that's happened, we've had to scale up, and we've had to grow as well. So and really, our people is our best asset. We really have some great talent working for us. People we work with are really have a lot of knowledge in the process as well as just the tools. Our skill sets have really kind of expanded, and with that, we've also expanded in some other areas besides just Jira as well. So we're now working with like Monday.com and Smart Sheets and a few other different types of tools as well. So really, we're trying to be more of a solution, whereas Atlassian could be one of the solutions, but we have many other solutions as well. And now with Contegix, we're adding infrastructure and hosting and other services to that as well.
Well, it really makes sense. I'm kind of the same. I have the same attitude. People is what drive things and causes innovation and to adapt to progress and evolution of an ecosystem or on an environment. And it's that saying, get the right people on board, onto the bus, and then drive. Then you can set the direction, because the people on board will help you set the direction as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we would not be where we are if it wasn't for the fantastic people that work for Ascend Integrated. And I've met a lot of the Contegix people as well, and they're great as well too. So it's really just a great combination of talent on both teams. Okay,
so then I guess in terms of my next question would have been around curiosity around the acquisition and such. But what I hear so far is, one, people and culture sync, culture fit. Second, this will help you scale and evolve certain services further. What are some of your other thoughts and basically your Ascend Integrators' reasons for this specific partnership?
In order to get to the next level, we arrived at a point where we needed to scale up. So, things are changing at Atlassian and in the software world, and in what clients are looking for an Atlassian partner. This is just a great way to integrate the infrastructure and the security expertise that Contegix already has in this space, and add to that the abilities to serve our clients. We're able to do this better together than we could alone.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that is the, to be honest, primary reason why strategic partnerships happen in the space of acquisition, subsidiaries, and integrations as well, because where there's more, there's momentum, I would say, especially when you guys seem to be a fit when it comes to culture and the type of people that will collaborate moving forward. So I'm excited to see the things that are going to come from out of this. I'm sure that there will be a lot of great great steps coming up. So you and I know each other for quite a bit, and we've partnered up where Ascend Integrated provides our PM solutions to help your customers. Any interesting stories about how Jexo tools have helped your projects in the past or current, present, future?
So, as you know, we've created a few blog posts just highlighting some of the cases that we found for some of our customers, and we've discovered that there are niches that, Swanley roadmaps, Foxley priority, and Octo component management fill for our customers. Your prices are definitely excellent, especially for the amount of features that you're getting for these tools. It's a great value, and as a process guru myself, I really like that. In Foxley, for instance, you can calculate the priority score with the inputs that are given for each issue, as opposed to just guessing what the priority might be. So saying like, oh, it might be a high or it might be a medium priority. You can actually decide what would make a medium priority by having a score that's calculated from the different inputs you put. So that's been a really great use case for it. And I just think that our customers so far have really found that it's a good tool to meet these needs.
No, that makes sense, and I've enjoyed reading the use cases that you provided. I think there's going to be a lot of other opportunities as well. But before I go there, I'm curious. So you mentioned the products, the quality of the products, and the value that they bring to customers. Any other drivers that help you take the decision to partner up with Jexo?
So by working directly with Jexo, we can ensure that our clients have access to the features that they're looking for in future releases. So, if a client comes to us and say, hey, why doesn't it do this? We can talk with Jexo directly and say, hey, why doesn't it do this? So it's a great way to get quick feedback from you guys. But as well, having a partnership means that we can share our customer stories and our apps and, see in the real world how they're actually being used. And we can use this to focus on improvements to the app as well. That way we have the customer perspective, and we're bringing that directly to you as well.
That makes a lot of sense, and we cannot progress our solutions as fast as we are today if we don't have expertise like the one that you're bringing on to help us evolve the products as well. So I completely agree with that one. And to be fair, I just want to put a little bit of a parenthesis here. This question it might sound a bit like I'm looking for some self-validation, but I promise you, I've never asked you. I've had a discussion with Ecor. I've never asked before, why did you choose to partner up with us, right? So I don't send a follow-up survey to say, okay, satisfaction and such. So this is actually quite new information for me as well. I understand better through these conversations what is it that makes for a good partnership with someone like us.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, and I'm sure that this will also help other vendors that might be at a beginning of their journey and looking for partnership to understand why solution partners like yourself choose to partner up with the company and stuff. So yeah, but I'll take the brag report as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what's next for Ascend Integrated now that is the team is part of Contegix? What are the next steps for you?
We hopefully expect to take part in some of the big events that Contegix traditionally sponsors. I myself am very much looking forward to the return of in-person conferences and publicly speaking. Not that I don't like podcast interviews and virtual conferences, but I just feel that you really can't replace the in-person experience that takes place at a conference. There's just a completely different energy and the ability to have conversations and relationships that take place, after you've listened to a speaker talk in person or been to the booth and just, struck up a conversation with a vendor. So I'll be glad to have that return. Plus, I could use some new swag, so.
Yeah, 100%. So does Contegix usually organizes events in-person events?
They have been to Atlassian Summit before, I believe now called Atlassian Teams. So things have obviously changed a lot with fewer in-person conferences and more virtual conferences. But I'm hoping eventually the dynamic will change, in that I still think there's a lot of value in in-person conferences and other events that are sponsored, and I think that those will be, a great way to get out there and be able to meet and talk to our customers in person, put a face to a name.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm looking forward for us to meet in person at Teams 22 next year. Yeah, because I'm sure we'll both be there. Hopefully we have a little booth there as well. So it'd be great to meet yourself and some of our other partners in the ecosystem live in person. We've missed by this much our first ever. It was called Summit, I think, last year in 2020. We missed it by this much because it didn't happen in person. We had the booth and everything, so yeah, we were really looking forward. We actually we wind up printing more than 100 t-shirts. So we wind up sending to our customers and partners, just shipping the t-shirts afterwards.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's definitely I really like going to the breakout sessions and especially speaking. I think it's a really great way, to just get out there and be visible to your customers. And obviously they like being able to actually meet the person who they're working with in person when they have a chance to too. So like I said, hopefully we'll see those back in full force maybe by next year.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having this chat with me today. We're gonna try to keep it short. It's a good intro to understand a bit more about Send Integrated, about yourself, and let's reconvene soon. Okay. I'm sure that we're gonna find with the rate of change and evolution of everything in the Atlassian ecosystem, I'm sure that we'll find another session to discuss something very specific. Also, I mentioned this previously, we're launching a blueprints, project management blueprints hub, and we're planning to have a bunch of blueprints, tutorials, how-tos in this sense, and we'll have a chat.
For Confluence?
I'm not sure where it's gonna be hosted. I think it's gonna be on our website, but the blueprints are basically the blueprints are going to be on our website. It's basically a public hub where you can go and search, how do I achieve this type of project, and then you'll find a bunch of options of tutorials that are mainly written by our partners, by yourself, potentially in the future, to kind of teach the community on how to execute certain things with the Atlassian toolset and the Jexo's project management solutions and stuff. So I'll chat to you probably offline about that, because you have some really interesting use cases, and I'd love to see us together share that with the community in this kind of tutorial blueprint type of format. Thanks again for joining the Jexo with Friends podcast. We'll do this very soon. It's been a pleasure talking to you, James.
Thanks again for hosting me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. So join me next time. I don't know when these are going to be ad hoc. I don't know who's going to be. Maybe we'll have James in the next episode. I don't know. We'll see. But join me next time. I'm hoping that you guys are getting good insight into solution partners in the ecosystem with these quick conversations, and leave us a message, comments, if you want to learn anything else about Ascend Integrated, or if you want to propose anything, any improvements, feedback to this format. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.